Hello everyone, welcome to the Dice Cast, our Dungeons & Dragons YouTube series. I am Russell S.A.N, and with me I have...
Fishman!
Well, last we left off, Aquans Jonas continued their exploration of the town of Vyrn's Run, and in doing so, hoped to embark upon the reasons which they had come here originally. Firstly, to find their childhood friend Bree Tealeaf, who had come in this direction after being exiled from the Plateau of Lakeside. And the other is to find the contact of the sorcerer Zork from the Court of the Seven, who was said to be in this village awaiting word of him. In that endeavor, Jonas decided to write out several messages and post them around town on various notice boards with a secret message for Bree, recalling an event from their past that he hoped that only she would be able to decipher the meaning of.
Yep.
Following the second thread, our party found their way towards the Platinum Dragon Inn, where Jonas, using it by means of the disguise self spell, ascended the staircase into the effectively passed for the penthouse suites of the hotel, where he was met by Zork's contact, the sorceress Lady Vapula.
Yep.
A tiefling woman who, despite Jonas's disguise as Zork, was somewhat suspicious by turn of events and attempted to read his mind. Fortunately, Jonas was able to resist the spell.
Just barely.
Through a great effort of will.
Yep.
And managed to maintain his cover. With her mission apparently done, Vapula made it clear that she was planning on leaving Vyrn's Run in the next few days.
Yep.
After these events, the party decided to also look into the recent grave robbing incidents that occurred in town. During an investigation, they ran into the cloaked half-ogre figure they had seen with the cart of corpses heading towards Vyrn's Run, which had last been seen during the monastery of Kuan Yin in the forest.
Yep.
Following this ogre, Orog, they managed to find an abandoned shack just outside on the outskirts of Vyrn's Run, during which time they managed to gain entry, and despite some mishaps, was able to apprehend one of the grave robbers, Lawrence, a were-rat assassin, and make the acquaintance of an agent of one of the high-ranking members of the town council, Samal, a tiefling rogue in his service, of Sir Reardon, who wished to employ their services possibly in a future endeavor, both bringing the perpetrator of the grave robbing incident to justice, and in dealing with the sorceress Vapula, who was definitely had definite plans of bringing a town under the influence of the Court of the Seven. And that's what happened last time, so I think that's...
That's it? That's an awful lot.
I think that's all that we have to... that's important to cover, so we'll turn it over to you. Though there's one thing we probably should mention last time. One thing we forgot to do is... there was a magic dagger on Lawrence's person, which we forgot to identify on screen. So I'm going to say that we would have retroactively have done that.
You want to fill it in on what it is?
Yes. We sometimes forget everything with everything going on. Some little details like that slip by. Alright. Alright. The item in question is a vicious dagger. Alright. A vicious dagger, so it basically functions as an ordinary dagger, except it is magical. And what that means is, whenever one rolls a natural 20 on an attack roll with this magic weapon, the target takes an extra 7 points of damage of the weapon's type. So in the hands of a rogue, it's a rather nasty item.
Not very useful to us, though.
Less so for us.
Don't like getting that close.
Well, you can throw a dagger.
kind of weird throwing a magic item away.
You can retrieve it afterwards.
Hmm?
You can retrieve it afterwards.
Sure. Alright. So that brings us...
Yes, for the time being, I just have that in my bag of holding.
Yeah. So at the end of the last scenario, we headed back to, well, the inn that we've been at all along, even though we had contemplated switching inns. Unfortunately, the inn we thought we switched to was the Platinum Dragon Inn, and that really wouldn't be a good thing right now.
And there happened to be a sorceress there who who we're at odds with.
So,
Or at least are going to be at odds with in the foreseeable future.
Back at the Whippoorwill,
Yes.
and we have a day to wait for everything to come together for dealing with the sorceress. So we are
At least.
yeah.
At least,
Day and a half, 2 days tops, because she said she was going to be heading out the next few days. So it's definitely something we have to keep in mind, but our time is our own until either we get contacted or we figure we wasted too much time, we should go deal with her. So I do plan on this evening, hopefully, doing a little reconnaissance on her place, but we're going to wait until dark for that. We were kind of spent on spells, so we went back to the inn, had a long rest. We were waking up in the morning, as our usual, and now the day is yours. So what do you want to do?
alright. So after we wake up and prepare our spells for the day, and I get my tunic portents.
Yep. Is there any change in the spell list that you have?
Yes, I'm going to be preparing Knock, which is one of the newest spells I picked up recently.
Cool.
There was an opportunity we had to open a locked door in our last session, and I didn't have the spell prepared.
Yes. Alright, so, what are you going to do? It is morning, we are awake.
Well, heading down for breakfast seems like a good idea, despite what happened last time.
Well, I don't think there's going to be any assassins this particular morning, but you never know.
It's always when you get complacent.
Yes, true enough. Alright, so you go downstairs, and there is actually somebody familiar there. Believe it or not, a familiar person that we met during the last time when there were assassins down here trying to kill us. There is a very dapper gentleman sitting at a table.
Steed!
He has his legs crossed and he's reading a book. The only thing really different about him is his entire outfit is different this time. He is dressed in far more vivid colors, blues and yellows, and it seems to work for him, but probably not something you would feel comfortable in. Upon us coming down, he closes his book, puts a little marker in there, sets it aside, and beckons us to come and sit with him. He also seems to have some tea there and some small breakfast items.
Okay. Well, I guess we will go over and see what this individual, whose name we still do not know, which is why I keep referring to him as Steed, wants.
You did not ask him his name last time, if I recall correctly.
It wasn't a long conversation.
True
He
enough.
stepped into the room, killed the people we're going to interrogate, told us about the slavers, and stepped out.
True.
And then the watch showed up.
Yes. Well, don't seem as rushed this time.
Alright. I'll head over.
Alright, so we go over. He seems of a very pleasant demeanor this morning. He's smiling, very happy to see you. And beckons, there's 2 empty chairs, believe it or not, at this table.
Okay.
He says, please be seated. Last time we met, it was a little rushed, but I would actually like to make formal introductions this time.
Okay.
And I looked to see what his name was.
Yes.
My name is Anatol.
Anatol.
Yes, and I already know your names, Jonas, Aquans. Yes, I know more about you than you do of I, but that's sometimes the way it goes. An opportunity has arisen, and that's the reason why I'm here today. You two have proved yourselves resourceful, but more importantly, you're not known entities yet. You are beginning to make a name for yourselves, and fortunately, the individuals that well, alright, I'm getting ahead of myself. Have a seat, please.
Yes, okay.
Would you like some food?
Yeah, we'll sit down and order breakfast effectively.
Once all those niceties are done,
Yes.
and you have your food and you're munching, he says, there is a water boat, or a river boat that comes up and down the river, which we should probably name at some point in time. Not very often, but it is a very luxurious craft, one of the paddleboat ones, and it is basically a riverboat gambling setup. They come into town, and wealthy individuals are invited aboard. They're lavishly fed and tons of alcohol and everything else, and everyone who leaves reports that they've had an absolutely wonderful time, but also that they're dead broke. No one's ever come off of it saying, wow, I won a ton of money. It always seems to be exactly the same story. Now the thing is, that in itself is not unusual. I mean, this boat is obviously designed to make money. But the few people that he has sent aboard as spies in the past don't remember anything. They don't really remember details upon questioning afterwards, because he sent them in specifically for to get knowledge, to figure out what's going on, and nobody seems to remember anything. The people who are just going there to have a good time remember having a good time. But the individuals he sent specifically to get information, very, very sparse and limited. They don't really remember much of anything besides just being fed and wined and wonderful time, and all they remember when they come off is their money's gone, and that's it. So, the task is for you two to pose as wealthy merchants, which means you can't go dressed the way you are. Don't worry, I have a tailor set up so that we can get proper clothing for you. You can't go in with anything that resembles what an adventurer would have. You are a merchant, so you can have wallets, satchels, fine. You know, that sort of stuff is fine. But you can't go in with staves and anything that makes you look like, wizards, daggers, that sort of thing, because all that stuff is frowned upon. They don't want to see weapons because you're just there to have a good time. Like I said, you guys are ideally situated at this very narrow window of opportunity because they've never seen you before. The last time they were in town, you weren't, and that's basically the setup. I will supply you each with 50 gold pieces to gamble. You are to go aboard the ship. Hopefully resist any enticements that they have. And this is the key part. You need to come off the boat with proof of what they are doing. Not just knowing it, because I have a pretty good idea what they're doing myself, but we need proof. You don't need to shut the operation down or anything. That would be a bonus, I suppose, but he needs that proof. The 50 gold is yours to keep it afterwards, lose it at the gambling tables, whatever, it doesn't make any difference to him. And also, you will both be supplied with proper attire. He's not exactly looking down his nose at what you're wearing, but he understands that there's a big difference between running out in the woods and wilderness and crawling through sewers, and of course going to, well, he considers a rather posh setup. So you got to look at the part. Does this interest you?
Well, my first question is quite clearly, what exactly is it that you think they're doing? Because you said you had some idea.
I do not want to bias you. I have my suspicions. I want you to come off knowing what they do and have proof of it through what you can figure out. Because if I just start saying what I want and I'm wrong, it's just going to throw you off, and you might end up wasting the night. And this opportunity is very narrow because it's only going to be here this one night, and then they move off to another section of the river. So, any other questions? And of course, the answer to my question: are you interested?
What level of security can we expect?
Again, no one remembers. People that I've put in strategic places on the shore, as the boat comes up to look at things, they don't see any armaments. They don't see anything. It is, it is a boat, but it's not just a boat. It is lavish. There's lights everywhere, strings of lights across. It's lit up like a festival, and there's music playing, and like I said, very pleasant people, and he doesn't see anything that would resemble any kind of even like a bouncer.
I turn to you and I say, well, this does seem interesting.
Well, we have a day to kill.
Well, as long as you can sneak aboard, as long as we can take aboard a component pouch, and I suppose you can sequester your wand somewhere.
Oh, he says, don't worry about stuff like that. The things that you won't be able to bring in are like staves, things that make you look like the wizard. People have satchels all the time. That's not a big deal. Pouches, of course. I mean, you got to carry your money in something, and that's all they're going to think that's in them. Yeah, that sort of thing's fine. Jewelry, of course, is also fine. Okay. You might have a bit of trouble with those bracers that you're wearing, because that is more of a combat sort of thing. But I'm sure you can go an evening without them anyway. So
I also am wearing the boots of the Winterlands.
Big furry boots might be a problem.
Okay, so all right, we have to.
Yeah, a few things, a few changes, but nothing major. So yeah, you probably won't be able to take your bracers in. You can put those in your bag of holding, and of course also
the boots will fit too. So
yeah, it's just to make yourself look harmless, innocuous, but rich.
What? Oh, we've. Okay.
All right. So what we need to do, because there's a bit of a time crunch, because the boat usually shows up roughly as it's getting dark. They want to have that allure of, the bright lights and everything else. They can't do that during the day. So we have the day, but it is going to take some time for my tailors to get you outfitted. So you need to go and do that relatively soon. And to that end, he opens up a book that he was reading, pulls out a slip of paper, and hands it to you. It has a shop and address on it, and they know you're coming. It's all covered, so you just need to give them any sort of specific details if you have preferences for colors, that sort of stuff. Otherwise, they'll just make you look nice. And then tomorrow, I'll meet you here, and hopefully you'll have news of what they're up to, proof of what they're up to, and if you end up shutting them down, that's fine too. At which point, he finishes his tea, gets up, gives you a slight bow, nod of the head, and says, I will see you tomorrow, gentlemen, and leaves.
Okay.
Alright, so you have an address and a name, and unsurprisingly, it is downtown. It is on that street, the same as the Platinum Dragon Inn, and like I said, it's not surprising because this is a high-end tailor. It is going to be where the money is. So, I take it you want to head there right away?
Yes, we should probably head there and get this sorted.
It's a short walk. And true to his word, when you enter they say, a gentleman comes up to you and immediately says, Aquans Jonas? Yes. I was told you're going to arrive today. There's nobody else in this store. So you go right in, and they actually start waving other people away. Say, sorry, we have important work to do today. And then they actually put a close sign up on the door. And immediately, a handful of, we assume they're clerks that work here, they come out and they have tape measures and they have diagrams, like pieces of paper to write stuff down. They immediately start taking our measurements and then they turn to us and say, well, to you specifically at the moment, do you have any color preferences? And they show you a couple samples and
I suppose blues and greens and grays are what usually. But I guess.
Yes, that would go very well with your skin, and I suggest also something that breathes quite well to compensate for any, moisture and that sort of stuff, like cottons.
Okay.
Wools will be a bit too warm, even though this time of year it's getting a little cool, especially at night. It's probably a good idea just to stick with something lighter. And then he turns to me and says, "Any preferences?" And I said, "Nah." I honestly don't care. Just make me look like a merchant. He says, "Yep, they know specifically what they need to do." They have samples actually already for me because I'm not doing anything specific. I just need to have something tailored to my size. Mm-hmm. You're going to be a little more difficult because you want specific colors. So, fortunately, they take my measurements quite quickly. And they say, yeah, fine, come back. We should have yours ready in a couple hours. And then they take your measurements and show you some samples of cloths and whatnot. And they say, yours is going to be a little longer, but we should definitely get it done before supper time. So, well before dark.
All right, then.
So we told them we'll be back by then because we don't need one before the other anyway. So
no, we do not.
All right, we head out. Now that leaves half a day. Because this did take a little, even though we montaged a little bit, it took probably about 2 hours in total to go through samples, take measurements, and of course get there. But that still puts us at about 11 in the morning, and we don't have to go back till around 4 or 5, so you have half a day if you want to go and do any other shopping, or we can just do a quick cut to the evening. What do you think?
Well, I was considering going by Wendell's, but I suppose that can wait. This doesn't seem like it's going to be particularly useful on this outing.
Alright, so just a quick cut to the evening then?
Yes.
Alright, for argument's sake, we went back to the Whippoorwill, did some research, reading, and had lunch.
Oh, yes, didn't you want to do your next...
Oh, yes. Thank you for reminding me. I have to do my next attempt at learning how to concoct potions of heroism. Mm-hmm. So, I will make that roll. Oh, rolled a 17, so plus 6 are well over the DC for
Alright,
that.
so you now know
Bonus.
the formula you need for making potions of heroism.
Yep. That's done now.
Yes.
So, apparently, I need something that's called. Let's see what it's called now. Dragon's lily. Sorry.
Yes, the nectar of a dragon lily.
Yes. So
Is the last ingredient you need, in addition to the medicinal herbs you already have and the mushroom.
yes. So that's cool. Don't have the time to put one together. Well, I suppose I did have had the ingredients, but don't.
But you don't.
I have most of the ingredients. I'm just missing one of the key ones. So I am going to try and keep in mind what the dragon lily looks like. I know they're found near water, so there's a lot of it around here. I think at some point in time we'll probably try and find some. If not, I think Wendell might be able to help us out there. Alright, that's cool. So that's taken care of. The rest of the day goes by uneventfully if that is all that we're going to do.
Yep, so I guess we have to decide what we're bringing on board with us. So not our staves, not any other weapons.
Well, I don't usually carry weapons, so...
You carry a staff and a dagger, I think.
I have my staff currently in my bag of holding. As far as my attire goes, all I really need to do is stick my hat in. It's the stereotypical wizard hat. My vest, my leather jacket, which has all the pockets and all that sort of stuff, has to go in there as well. But then again, unless I want to walk to the shop in my underwear, I'll probably do that all when I get there.
Yep. So, no bracers of defense, no boots of the Winterlands, so my armor class is going down.
Mine's 66.
Yes, because you have your ring.
Yep. My +1. Alright, so we go there.
Yep.
Roughly 5 o'clock-ish, and they are just putting the final details on yours. Obviously mine was done long ago, so I get shown to the changing rooms, and I take all my normal, comfortable stuff, except the shoes. I'll keep those because they're fine.
The slippers.
Slippers, yeah.
Yeah.
They look fancy to begin with, so that's perfectly fine. And I change into their attire, and I leave my clothes all in the bag of holding. So, I come out with a satchel, and looking a lot different.
I assume the same for me, basically.
Yeah, it's only about by the time I'm done changing, they have all the details finished of yours, and you have to do the same thing.
Yeah,
all your robes and whatever else you're carrying for adventuring goes into the bag of holding.
Well, 90% of it's in the bag of holding.
And then you put on...
So the staff goes in there, the vicious dagger we just found goes in there. My bracers and my boots of the Winterlands both go in there, so... I don't have the bonuses they give me for this. Because I'm not wearing them, I guess.
We are relatively uncomfortable, I would suspect at this point, because...
Yes, I believe the phrase is, here's where I go to take off the clothes I prefer, to don the ones I abhor.
Yes. Well, we're all wearing the crap now.
Yes.
I think we don't say that while we're in the shop, because we're going to offend some people.
No.
Because the young gentleman the staff are all mostly young, but the actual
Taylor
person who's in charge thinks he's done an absolutely wonderful job, and he's clapping his hands, saying, "Oh, you look so wonderful and pretty. I hope you enjoy wearing these clothes."
I think to myself, just going off of how our lots of our normal quests and other adventuring style things go, these clothes may not be in the same condition when we come back.
So he says, "Do you like them?" What do you say?
I'll say yes.
Is that the truth?
I say, I think they're perfect for this occasion.
We're going to get around telling you what you think by sticking to truthful linguistics. Alright. We head out.
Okay. Yes.
It is now approaching 6 o'clock, and because it is later in the season now,
Yes.
it is actually getting dark.
Ah, and we don't have stabs to cast light cantrips on.
We can't cast lantern. We're merchants. We don't do that anymore.
I still have my spell components on me.
Yes.
Yes.
So we've got to get into character here because I don't think these people are going to be fools. Well, they might be. Who knows? So we walk down. We come out of the shop. We walk down into the harbor area, and as we get down into here, you notice actually there's a fair amount of light coming from the dock area. And this graphic does not, ooh, terrible. This graphic does not do it justice. Because
So it's not a sparkly boat with wheels?
it is a very sparkly boat. But the lights are strung on lines, and there are dozens and dozens and dozens of them. It is lit up, well, if we were around here, like a Christmas tree. But we're not, so it is lit up really well, like a festival. And you hear lovely music playing, and this ramp is indeed gold colored. And there's a nice table set up here, and there are a fair number of staff, but more importantly, around the dock side, and gradually walking their way up, are a number of what look like merchants, just like us.
Okay. So is there a bit of a crowd at the moment?
At the dock, as we get towards where the boat is, there is indeed probably about 10 to 15 individuals. Not all of them are merchants. Some have hangers on, let's call them. Like some merchants have what you would call a trophy wife kind of concept, or
Okay.
someone to show off that, hey, this young lady is with me kind of look, even though they don't look like they're married or anything. But anyway,
Okay.
you know what I mean. A lot of it is just show.
Okay. The main reason I'm asking is because I would like to cast Detect Magic and have that going as we approach onto this boat, because based on what Anatol has said, it sounds like there is definitely some magic at work here.
Alright. Everybody that you see
Yep.
at the moment that's on the dock is facing this boat. And they're all talking quite animately. They're
Okay.
all excited for a lovely evening away from whatever they do for a living.
Yep.
And, of course, to have a wonderful time. There's no one on the dock looking towards you.
Yep.
The people on the boat are busily engaged with each other. You see wait staff talking there. This table that you see there in the middle is laden with drinks and hors d'oeuvres, and there's people with trays, and they're handing out drinks, and definitely
Distracted?
no one's paying attention to us.
Good, so I can take a moment to cast Detect Magic then.
Go for it.
Okay.
Roll a stealth check, please. Just don't whiff it.
Do I have advantage? Because everyone's so distracted?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, I'm still rolling badly. 8 is the highest.
That's fine. No one's paying attention.
Okay.
Well, it's nice when you have a DC of 5 for a change.
Yes, it is.
Alright. So, Detect Magic is going. You are currently more than 30 feet from the boat.
Okay, well, after my spell, after I'm concentrating on my spell, I think we should approach.
Yes, once you get to where the crowd is, well, not crowd, it's only 15 people, and that's dwindling at this point. There is a couple of people coming from behind us now. They look well-to-do again. Some of them with bodyguards, even. You notice that there are on the dock down towards the shoreline, there does seem to be a fair number of individuals that fit that kind of look. You know, kind of burly,
Oh.
looking like they had that look of I should be in there kind of, but they're not allowed.
Okay.
Now, so when you get to the where the crowd is, you are now within 30 feet of the leading edge of this section here, like around down in this area.
Mm-hmm.
You basically can scan this area, and the lights are all magical.
Okay, so they have light spells effectively going.
They have something going.
Okay.
They give off. It's very faint magic. It's nothing,
Okay.
powerful. It just makes them look a little bit brighter, actually.
Yeah.
Now you're looking through with your wizard eyes. In very short order, the crowd begins to move aboard, and we are allowed to go up the ramp as well. Everyone's just excited to get in there. There's a definite festive atmosphere here. The music is nice. And as we get up onto the ramp and head into the boat, we are greeted by very pleasant-looking young ladies. They're dressed nicely, a bit provocatively, but not overly so. They're very cheerful. They're all wearing bright colors. They all have trays with drinks on them, and we're both offered a drink. And then there's also people with like little canapes and various hors d'oeuvres. You can take those as well if you like.
Yep.
What do you want to do?
Well, if this is meant to...
Oh, sorry, you're still concentrating on detect magic?
I am, yes.
The whole area here, this whole section, within 30 feet of you, all the lights are magical. You don't detect any magic on the not the two young ladies, but the young ladies that are serving.
Yeah. So nothing on the drinks or the food. Okay.
No. But seeing how we're standing roughly about here now, you do detect there's a lot more magic coming from inside whatever this structure is. And there's two big doors that are open. They don't close. They're just held open.
Okay.
And inside, you hear more of the music playing, and there seems to be a little bit of a haze in the air, and lots of laughter.
No, it's the smoking section.
And there are rows upon rows of tables for gambling.
Okay, so all the gambling is in there.
Yes, this is just the greeting section. So, what do you want to do about your drink? I assume it's alcoholic. Sniff it if you like.
Sure.
Is it? The canapes.
Is it?
Roll a Arcana? No.
Medicine, I guess?
Medicine and or alchemy.
I don't have... Okay, I have neither of those, but... So medicine's wisdom. Oh dear. I'm still rolling really badly. 8 again. I assume it's alcoholic.
You assume it is, but there's a lot of perfume on the ladies here. And the gentlemen are wearing colognes and that sort of stuff. There's a lot of scents. You can't really pick it out. Yes, we assume it is alcoholic.
Okay. Well, there's definitely a thing at parties where people do just take a glass and generally not actually take a drink from it ever. Just wander around carrying it, so...
So, did you take any of the canapes? Like the food?
I'll take one of each, yeah.
No, you can't take one of each. Oh, you mean one canapé and one drink?
Yes.
That's fine, okay. You can't take one of each canapé because there's dozens of them.
No, that's just what I mean. I'm going to take one of each, the drink and that.
You are encouraged, by the way, to take as many as you want of everything. They do recommend one drink at a time, but
yes.
You can get. They have small plates if you want to take a little tray of canapés. You can take those with you right now if you like.
No, that's fine for the moment.
All right.
All right.
I would like you to roll a perception check, please.
Oh, now my luck changes. 18.
Total?
Yes.
All right. You do get the impression that they are definitely, the wait staff is definitely trying to make sure that everybody is consuming.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Alright. So when we go?
Alright. So, near as I can tell, outside here all the magic is just the lights.
Yes.
So, but there is a magical aura inside and there's a haze inside. Do I recognize the school of magic from the aura inside this central structure?
Alright, as you go in, and you...
Well, I was hoping to know that before I went in.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah.
There are a great many blips of magic.
Okay.
Unfortunately, because there's so much, I'm going to have to get you to roll an Arcana check for me.
Okay.
Because
Alright. Arcana... 22.
Alright, well done.
Something I have a proficiency in.
Yeah, it does help. Alright. Almost every merchant in here has some magic on them. And
Oh, good. Every merchant here has magic items, but I wasn't allowed to bring mine in.
yeah. They are obviously... Alright. Focusing on this is a little difficult because there's just so much of it.
Okay.
They rolled really high. There are rings, there are necklaces, there are little bracelets. None of it seems to be really powerful magic, but there is definitely magic here. Abjuration is the most common one.
Okay.
But there are also, like, detect magic doesn't always give you, because some things aren't.
No, some magic items do not fit the schools of magic. But I'm also looking for magical auras that do not come from objects just that might point to active spells in the area.
Alright. Ignoring the people, and
Yes.
still going with your 22,
Yeah.
you notice that there is, there's okay. This is going to take a while. The chandeliers are definitely emanating magic.
Yes. Okay.
The school is conjuration. Around the outside of the wall, there are these little brackets, and they have little incense sticks that are burning. They all emanate magic, but you can't discern what school it's from. But there's a great many of them, and that is the cause for the haze that's in here.
Okay, that might not be a good thing.
Right. So, lots of magic on people, and most of the other magic is what I just described to you.
Okay, so we're looking for proof on what is going on in here.
Right. We are holding up the crowd, by the way.
Oh. Well, I assume we could let people by while we just look in. Or go in. No?
Yes. Yeah, well, yeah, you can stand to the side, but the longer you wait, the more than just a couple of seconds of people going, wow, look at all this amazing stuff.
The more suspicious it's going to be.
We're getting suspicious, yes.
Alright, well, we can go in.
Actually, no, I would like you to roll a performance check for me, please.
Performance? Okay.
To be a gopher, basically.
11.
One of the young ladies at your elbow says, oh, I know, it's so lovely and wonderful you see it the first time, but I do need you to move in, please. There's more people to bring in here.
Okay, I will head in, though.
Alright. As you head in, I would like you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, was waiting for that. Okay. Oh, dear. 12.
Right on the DC.
I was gonna hope it wasn't very high. But yeah, I was just like, as soon as I saw the incense, I'm just like, yep, no, there is some sort of drug here.
You have this sensation of... it's hard to describe, but you know it's not your feelings, and you're trying to fight it off, and you do. Of just feeling kind of almost euphoric.
Okay. I also assume you have to make the save now as you enter.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Details. you. I may not even have noticed it. But yes, it's a nice smell. It's a very fine incense. It's actually, you expect that it is quite valuable. It is, as you can tell by the people here.
Well, it is magical in nature, so.
Yeah, everyone seems to be happy and having a great time. And everyone has immediately gone to the tables. They're all fanning out their games. There are dice games. There are card games. There are spinny things with little balls that drop around. Roulette in our standards, but...
Yeah, so I assume there's a great many of them.
There's a great many. And I would like you to roll another perception check, please.
Oh dear. 5. I think I'm distracted by everything.
Yeah, not much more than 5.
Yeah. Too much to take in at the moment, I think.
Okay. This continues for 15, 20 minutes, verging on a half hour, when finally, you think the last of the guests have arrived because they close the big doors, and the other. So as the doors close, and everyone just sort of looks around in anticipation, a gentleman shows up, but you're not sure it's a gentleman. It could be a lady. Rather well dressed, obviously, because everyone is. The gender seems hard to figure out. Actually, the race seems rather difficult to picture as well, except they're tall and thin. If you want, you can roll a nature check or perception check.
I'll roll a nature check.
Okay.
20 total.
20 total.
Yep.
Believe it or not, you're not certain of...
Wow, that was a high DC.
You're not certain of their race. You're not certain of their gender. It is a very androgynous person. Very nice, melodious voice, but not anything that would give you hints as to their orientation, one way or another.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, he has a drink in his hand, or she, they. And so as he holds his glass up in toast, he says, "Welcome to the Arlene. This is my boat, and you are here to have a wonderful time and eat, drink, be merry, and enjoy the winnings at the tables." And as you say that, a bunch of people cheer, because it looks like a lot of people are actually winning, which is kind of interesting, considering what we were told. So he says, "Yeah, please, anything you want, anything that you need, feel free to ask any of the staff here. They're here for your pleasure. Enjoy yourselves. And I'm not going to ruin the evening by giving long speeches, so have fun." And then he steps off the little dais that he had there and starts mingling with people.
Okay.
So, everyone seems to be gambling. And now that it's been pointed out to you, they do seem to be, they're not all winning, but they are not being, fleeced for everything.
Okay. So whatever causes them to lose all their money is not just a rigged gambling table, then.
Who knows? Alright, so about a half hour's gone by, as I mentioned.
Okay.
So I would like you to roll another Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh dear. 14.
Alright. You still feel that little bit of a fuzziness that's trying to take away your inhibitions, make you feel happy.
Yes.
But you're still maintaining that discipline of being a wizard.
Twice, yes. Both times I would have failed if I didn't have a +4 Constitution modifier.
Yes. Now I'd like you to roll a perception check again, please.
Yes, because I'm trying to look around and see just trying to keep an eye on what's going on. Is it just as simple as someone picking people's pockets or they're not paying attention, or is there something more to this?
Right.
And that's another 5.
You're just too awestruck by all this fancy show and the lights.
No, it is just that I am cursed when it comes to perception checks.
One thing you'll notice, there are young ladies going around, and they are encouraging us to go and gamble. And so, look, don't be hesitant. As you can see, lots of people are winning. Please find a table and partake of the evening.
Well, it does seem like we're not going to get much just from viewing things from afar, so maybe if we look closer, or we might have better luck.
Alright, so you're going to pick a table?
Sure, why not? We'll pick one of the dice games, because it seems appropriate.
Why not? Because we happen to have them? Alright, so the way it works is you pick a number, and you put some money down, and you roll some dice. So, how much do you want to wager?
Speaking of which, I forgot to add the gold. I'm going to do that now. So we got 50 from...
Yes, we have 50 gold to basically use as we see fit to perceive and also figure out what's going on in here. So yes, we have a bunch of money.
Okay, well, a good bet to start with seems to be 5 gold.
Oh, all right. The dealer or the
Whatever.
person at the table says, "Excellent, we have a high roller here," and everyone else seems to be bidding like 1 or 2 gold. So there aren't any silver or copper, you notice here. So I would like you to roll a 20 side, and I'll do the same, and we'll see who wins.
So not adding anything, just saying the number?
Just the number.
16.
I have a 19.
Okay.
Oh, that's unfortunate, sir. And he puts it in the stack on his side there. Please, place another bet. And
Yeah. I'll place 5 more gold down.
oh, excellent. I love your enthusiasm. Let's roll again.
Four.
Oh, even with my 6 you didn't win. Oh, you lose 5 more gold. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. This is very unusual. I mean, please, try again.
Alright.
Everyone else, by the way, is also placing bets. You see some are losing, some are winning, but you notice that they're all happy.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
one more?
Yep. So I guess I have to place another bet.
Yes.
Alright. Well, that's 5 more gold there.
Okay.
Speaking of 5s.
You are terrible at this.
Yes, I am. Do you want to
Don't
do
go
it?
to a casino. Does not beat my 12, so you lose yet another 5 gold pieces. And I would like you to roll a perception check, please.
Yes. Okay. Hang on. I'm going to pick a different die. Nope. That didn't help. 10.
Alright.
It's twice what the other 2 were.
Yeah, everything seems like normal. You've never been to a gambling outfit before.
No, I'm not.
You don't seem to pick up on anything. Like he's not, handling the die any kind of weird way.
Obviously, detect magic has run its course by this point.
Oh yeah, it was a half hour before the doors closed. So
Yeah.
yes, you currently don't know anything about anything magical unless you want to avail yourself of the facilities and recast it. Other than that, you're, up to your perception skills.
Yes.
Okay. We're now roughly at the hour mark. Time for another Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh, joy. Natural 1. are upset.
That constitutes 2 failures. You're feeling really... Even though you just lost 20 gold pieces, it's not your money, you don't care.
Actually, it was only 15, I think.
Was it 4 times or 3 times?
3 times so far.
No, right. You just lost 15 gold, that's not your money.
No.
You're feeling good. You're not out of control. You still have control of your faculties, but you feel a lot more relaxed. So, I think you want to place another bet.
Oh, joy.
I haven't failed once yet, by the way.
Good for you! So now we're at the 20 gold mark.
Alright, roll away.
Nine.
Another 5 gold goes to the dealer. The dealer says, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I mean, why don't you move on to one of the other tables? You might have better luck there. This seems to be a not very good spot for you." And it's very interesting because you see that they are trying to encourage people to win, and understand bad luck and everything, but don't worry, they seem to be having much better chance over at that table there.
Okay.
Alright.
Have you noticed that I'm not behaving like myself yet?
Oh yeah.
Are you going to attempt to do anything about it?
Well, at the moment we're fitting in.
Oh, joy.
Yep. Alright, we move off to another table, and you're handed drinks, and I assume you're not drinking.
Not if I have control of myself.
Alright, so I would like you to roll a wisdom saving throw, please.
Alright, wisdom saving throw is actually better than Constitution. 14.
Alright. You understand you're under the influence of
Magic.
something.
Yeah.
Yes. You assume it's magic, but you are in control of what you're doing.
Not in control of my dice. They're not working very well at the moment.
They rolled better on that one. That was probably more crucial than you admit.
Yeah.
Alright, so...
Yes, but they've only rolled above a 10 once so far, really.
Alright. Roll away. 5 more gold.
Oh, okay. What? It doesn't matter. Roll again.
Yep.
Ah! 15.
The die guy at the other table has steered you right. You come here, your first bet, and you win, and everyone cheers.
So does that mean I get 10 gold added to mine, I guess?
What?
Does that mean I add 10 gold to my total?
You bet 5.
Yes.
Now you're getting 10 more, so you now have 15 where that 5 was.
Okay.
Apparently you're paying a really good odds here. So
Okay.
you've earned back 10 gold pieces.
Okay then.
And this is like a cheer went up, you're feeling good. What do you want to do?
It's like I'm just gonna try and look around and survey the area. I'm just looking for where there might be because we are meant to be looking for evidence and proof.
Not just having a good time?
No.
Alright. Roll an investigation check, please.
Investigation 18.
Alright. In a moment when you've decided you've gotten a hold of your runaway emotions for a second, even though you're feeling really wonderful, you do recall the reason why we're here, and you have a look around. You notice 2 things. The most important one is the chandeliers above are lit, of course.
Yes.
And they're crystal chandeliers, and there's basically discs of glass, whatever, some sort of crystal, who knows, that circle the outside of it.
Yep.
And every now and then you catch a twinkling off of one of them, and it shines on either a passing person or one of the walls or some other piece of furniture. And there seems to be every now and then a glimpse of an animal or creature or something. It's just like just as it spins a little bit, it just sort of catches the beam of light properly, and you see reflected on the wall an outline of some sort of creature.
Okay.
The other thing you notice is, for the most part, the staff are just a bunch of bubbly people encouraging everybody to go about their day, go about having a good time. They're plying them with lots of alcohol, lots of food, and you notice that for the most part, most people are right in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
There's not much in the way of what you would call reserved people. There is two of the staff, though, seem to be a little bit different. They're not. First off, they're not carrying any trays. They are young ladies. They do fit, like they are wearing the same kind of outfits everyone else is. They seem to fit that way. But they also seem instead to be watching very carefully what's going on. They're not being bubbly and interacting with everybody the same way as everyone else is.
Okay, so probably security of some sort.
And every now and then you catch our host as he moves about, and he, of course, is definitely paying attention to everybody. Now, it's about this time that you notice also that one of these two individuals, that the young ladies that seem not to be, part of window dressing, are talking a little bit more animatedly to one of the patrons. One of the people here doesn't seem to be buying all this. Seems quite upset, actually, because I suspect, as you have lost some money and don't seem to be enjoying themselves anywhere near as much as everybody else. Just seems completely oblivious to this by this point.
Yeah.
We're now into this, heading towards the hour and a half mark, and you notice that everybody, except this one person, seems to be just completely abandoning all sorts of reason or anything. They're just happy. They mostly look pickled as well, but they're not even paying attention to this. They're just gambling and having a good time. And this lady is having a rather hard to tell. There's a lot of noise here, so even with roll a perception check. Let me know if you roll really, really high.
No, 6.
Alright, you can't pick up the conversation. It's hard. They're not. He's not being calm about it, but again, it's just really it's loud in here. She's actually being very controlled, and has now beckoned the host to come over. You caught his name at the beginning. I don't know if you remember it. Naren?
Sorry?
His name is Naren. I don't know if I mentioned it at the beginning.
I don't think you did, but okay.
Okay, he comes over and he says, "Does there seem to be a problem here? Are you going to gravitate towards this, or are you just going to try and eavesdrop from where you are?"
I think I will try and move a bit closer to get a better...
Alright, roll a stealth check, please. It's going to be obvious.
11, but I don't know how good that is in this situation.
You're noticed, but no one seems to be considering it
Odd.
unusual at this point. People are moving everywhere.
Yeah.
It wasn't horrible. So Aaron is talking to this guy and trying to calm him down. Say, "Look, no, please, it's just all the usual platitudes, and no, don't worry about it. We can loan you some money if you like, give you credit on the house."
Yes. All the things that casinos like to say in order to get people to part with their money.
Yes. And this gentleman seems to be partial dwarvish heritage. So So
Ah! People really not fond of losing their money.
he's not happy about
They've been
this.
known to go to war over that.
Yeah. And he's not having any of it. He's just said, no, this is wrong. You're drugging people. I know it. I can smell it in the air.
Oh yeah, if it's a poison, dwarves are resistant to that.
Yes, well, he's not falling for any of this. And he says, I want my money back. And he pulls the head in his sleeve, he pulls out, which is unusual for a dwarf, a dagger. And he says, and he holds it up to there and he says, I want my money back.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Or I'm not going to, well, remain pleasant. So, Aaron says, oh, no, we don't need it. Oh, please, no. I mean, we're more than happy to reimburse you of your money. He says, how much did you bring with you? The dwarf says, I brought 100 gold with me, and I want that back now. And Aaron says, sure, certainly. Hold on a sec here. And he's
Reaching in.
This short crystal rod, about this big.
Ah.
I would like you to roll an Arcana check, please.
Oh boy. 25!
Well, you had to get there eventually.
Good, this is what I'm good at, so I'm glad this is working out.
You notice you don't need detect magic for this. This rod has lots of intricate carvings on it. It's if you imagine what a crystal of quartz would look like, you know how they're usually quite long and well, mostly translucent, sometimes transparent. That's what it looks like, but it's been etched. And he says, and the dwarvish gentleman says, "What in the world is that?" He says, "Oh no, this is just so I can communicate with my staff below." And he holds it up to his mouth, and he seems to be saying something. But what he does, as you notice with that Arcana check, is he's pointed it towards the chandelier. And he moves his thumb a little bit, rubbing something, and you hear a little pop. And one of the crystals that was up there drops to the floor, right in front of them, and shatters. And
Oh, we've run into these before, I think.
and it grows and coalesces into what looks like a knight.
Oh, the one that was... Oh, good, the one that was absolutely no threat at all.
Yeah. This shocks the dwarf. Let's see how shocked he is.
Does anyone else notice this? Probably not. They're probably all drugged at this point.
Well, hold on, we'll deal with the crowd in a moment. Naren says, escort this gentleman out, please. And the crystal creature goes to, well, basically...
Grapple?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that is a nimble dwarf. He manages to evade the first grapple. And Aaron says to him, please, we'll get your money. We need you to leave the building. No, sorry, leave the boat, really, or leave this immediate area.
Technically, there is a building on this boat, so it does work.
Yes. He's not having anything to do with it. He's dodged around, and then he's going to try and attack the host. Oh, that's a good roll. He's not going to like this. Wow. For 5 points of damage with a dagger, which is pretty good. Alright. Immediately at this point, you notice that the young lady that seems a little odd, like relative to how the other ones are acting, comes up behind the dwarf and very deftly sticks a dagger in a sensitive spot and whispers something to him. And says, at this point, says something, you're not sure, but you notice that the dwarf drops his dagger. And Naren says to the construct, don't resist, please. And then gets him to grapple him, and he is escorted out. I would like you to roll a perception check. This time, hopefully you'll roll better.
I did roll better. 7.
Alright. No one seems to be paying any attention to this. Everyone seems to be having a great time. So, what do you want to do? You have two options at this point. You can go back to the tables and pretend that everything is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can try and see what's going on outside, because he is now left the building.
I think I will go outside, if nothing else, for a breath of fresh air out of this drug smoke-filled...
Alright, I would like you to roll a performance check for me, please. A check that's hopefully going to convince them that you're just, you know, getting right, spying. Oh. Well, I rolled a natural 20.
Okay, I think I have to re-roll those anyway. It was definitely cocked.
Okay.
8. Oh, you rolled a natural 20. Okay, not the...
I rolled a natural 20.
It was stuck between a 7 and a 17. So I was just like, I could call... I had to re-roll that. Just to be honest.
So the door is open, and we are going towards them. I am giving a very great imitation of someone who is inebriated. And we're going to basically combine our roles. You're going to be holding me up as part of me, and we're going to make it through the doors.
Have I come down off of my high, effectively, at this point?
Not yet. No.
Not yet, no? Oh.
You're still feeling quite good, but which means your perception roll, your performance roll should have been better than mine, but anyway, we get to the doors, and we open them up, and very interesting. The crystal entity, well, you know what they are, right? The crystal creature that we've seen many times appears to have just dropped something overboard on the non-dock side. And Naren turns and says, "Oh, sorry, gentlemen. Is there something I can do for you? The party's on the inside."
Well, I'm just going... Sorry?
You don't see the dwarf.
I'm pretty sure I know where the dwarf is. But I'm just going to say, my friend here just has had a little bit too much drink. Just taking him outside for a breath of fresh air for a moment.
And well, I'm going to roll on that 20 and give an interesting performance of someone who's having a wonderful time, but might need a bit of a fresh air. And we'll combine our rolls. And he says, "Well, that's fine, but you know, it's a little chilly up tonight. Just don't want you to catch a cold, and of course, you know, this is a boat, and I don't want you falling overboard, so be very careful." And at this point, the crystal creature disappears, and the young lady and he go back inside.
Okay. So, after they're inside, I'm going to quickly go over to where the knight was dropping something overboard. So over to where I assume the knight was throwing the dwarf in the water?
Alright. So you want to see if you see what might look like someone sinking to the bottom?
I mean, worst comes to worst, I literally can just dive in.
Alright. So, at the moment, without diving in, you need a perception check, please.
Could I have your assistance on this?
You definitely have my assistance.
Alright. Please let one of these work tonight. Well, thank you for avoiding the natural 1. So it's 22.
22!
Yes.
You are an aquatic person. You are quite familiar with water and things that are dropped into it, and of course things that will leave bubble trails as they sink.
Also, this boat is literally lit up like the dawn.
Even though you are looking from light into dark, with that roll, yes, you're fairly certain that something went overboard. But you do not see anything in the water. Whatever it was is below the water.
Alright. Yep. Okay. Well, I'm just going to pat you on the shoulder and say, well, I think I'm going to be taking a late night swim.
I suggest that you do not do it in your party clothes. We are probably still going to have to go inside and find that proof we need.
I know prestidigitation.
Ah, that's true. I keep forgetting.
I think time is of the essence. I am going to dive in.
Alright. So, this is going to require, without any advantage, because I won't be there, I would like you to roll an investigation check, please, to try and, I assume, find a body or a person.
Alright. Investigation 19.
Alright. Alright. He dives down, and again, because of your skills with the water, you, in short order, actually managed to find, well, the dwarf. He is covered in chains and has basically a block of stone holding him down.
Okay, now what was planned? What was the second half of this plan? I was just like,
He is alive.
he is alive momentarily, for the moment.
For the moment, he is alive. He is turning blue. I rolled a couple of constitution checks.
Is there like a padlock or something? How are these chains fastened?
Well, they're wrapped around him.
Yes.
And in the back, there is a, I'm not sure how I can describe this, and it is a link that has a screw-on fitting, and you can undo it, link it, do it up so it holds, and you can undo it, because he's struggling currently,
A set of manacles, a padlock, etc.
it would require a dexterity check
Yeah.
to do this expeditiously.
Well, one thing I want to try before that is I want to knock the spell.
Yep.
Allows me to choose an object I can see within range of 60 feet, which may be a door, a box, a chest, a set of manacles, a padlock, or a similar
Alright.
object. I don't know if this will work for this. I honestly don't.
It is not a complicated device.
Yep.
And it is certainly within the parameters of that spell.
Alright. I'm going to cast knock for the first time.
Alright. The chains loosen and come apart.
Okay. I'm going to and after it's loosened apart, I'm going to help him pull the chains off and try and...
Yeah. Okay. I would like you to roll an athletics check, please.
Okay. Oh, and just for everyone watching, we don't agree with the description of the knock spell that says that there's now a massive booming noise as I cast the spell.
Yeah, it completely gets rid of the reason for casting.
For a reason I can knock, which is to open a door discreetly. This is meant to be like a door opening or a lock unlocking, not Thor, the mighty god of thunder, is breaking into my building.
Regardless, you would be...
I do need an athletics check. Okay, so that's a 16 minus 1, so 15.
Alright, more than enough. With your move rate under water...
Which is the same as my walking speed, so I will be moving at half speed carrying him.
He's actually quite interested in getting to the surface, and he's not getting in the way, which is nice. So you get him to the surface before he expires, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
But he is coughing and sputtering. What do you say to him?
What do I say to him?
He first off, when he finally catches his breath, he just thanks you profusely.
Yeah. Is this enough proof to... Just like... Well, I'm going to say I'm glad he is got there in time.
Yep. He's not being quiet.
Ah. Well, I would say I think it might be better if we try to be somewhat quiet so we don't draw attention to ourselves at the moment.
Alright.
I don't know if I have to roll perception. Sorry? Oh.
Stealth?
That was stealth, not perception. Okay. Persuasion. When it comes to stealth checks, my dice seem to be stuck on rolling 10, so it's another 11.
Alright. He's not stupid, but he's not a swimmer.
Yeah.
Fair amount of splashing going on.
Obviously I'm trying to direct us towards the shore, not the boat, which he was just thrown off of.
Yes. Okay. I would like... actually, it doesn't matter. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
You do get him to shore. This
Yes.
does take some time, but there are plenty of ladders on these docks to climb up.
Yeah.
And he is, now that he's actually on solid ground, or at least solid wood,
Yeah.
he's upset. Not at you, obviously.
Yeah.
You're the best thing since sliced bread as far as he's concerned. He thought he was a goner. But he just wants to storm back on that ship and tear them all apart.
And if we go to the watch with this, is the thing I'm thinking of. Is this enough evidence? I mean, they tried to kill him, but I don't know if that's proof or not.
So, I assume you're going to try and convince him not to go back on the boat, guns blazing.
Especially since he definitely doesn't have any. Yeah, I presume he is, for the most part, unarmed.
He's completely unarmed at this point.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I'm going to attempt to try and convince him that swift justice is not the way to go here.
Right.
What role is that? Persuasion?
Yes.
I guess. Apparently, I'm very persuasive at the moment. 17. I did save his life. That has to.
Yes. That does count for quite a bit. Like, in the span of probably about 15, 30 seconds of trying to convince him of this, reason does dawn on him. Then he is quite willing to give you a chance to figure this out. He wants these fair, well, let's just say there's a few dwarvish swear words thrown in there that you don't understand.
I do not understand Dwarvish, so that's fine.
Individuals, miscreants, whatever, to come to justice. And he's going to head to the watch office and probably in the next half hour, 45 minutes, hard to say exactly, maybe a little longer depending on how hard it is to convince them, they're going to be back. You have till then to figure out what you need to figure out.
Yeah. Okay, so now we have a time limit. That's what we did already. It's just much
I would
more.
like you to roll a constitutional saving throw, please.
18.
Alright.
This is the turning point.
Yeah. Your head's beginning to clear a little bit.
Ah, a nice swim is what I needed.
Yes. The shock
Wash my
water.
sinuses of that stuff.
Yeah. You are soaking wet.
I'll cast Prestidigitation to dry myself.
Alright. I assume you're going to head back to the boat?
Yes.
Alright. When you get back to the boat,
That's right.
all is not how you left it.
Oh. As in, you're not there?
There?
You're not there?
Oh, no, I'm there. I'm acting reasonably intoxicated still. And I have actually managed to convince the young lady that I'm talking to, which you recognize as one of the two that is not a bit of fluff, the one that are just very seriously paying attention. And I'm convincing them, quite admirably by the way, that no, he just had to go for a leak and he didn't want to take you over your boat, so... Oh no, here, he's coming now.
before you draw attention to me,
Yeah.
I am going to take out the copper piece I use for detect thoughts, flip it in the air, cast the spell, catch it to cast the spell.
Yep.
And as I approach, I'm going to have detect thoughts active.
Alright. Oh, there it is. Come.
Yep.
You just wanted to go for a leak.
Alright, so as I come back
You hear me
aboard...
saying that.
What?
Yeah. You hear me saying that.
Yes. So, did I manage to cast the spell discreetly enough?
They didn't even know you were there.
Yep.
They were talking to me. So
Okay.
we're letting you roll.
So, as I approach,
Yep.
I'm going to obviously just...
Scan her mind.
yes, I'm going to scry her mind and just... surface thoughts for the moment, just...
Alright. I rolled really well on my persuasion, not my persuasion, but on my performance and persuasion, I should say.
Yeah.
And the
Despite-
surface thoughts you get for this person is, what a buffoon. God, how is he hanging on to his money so long? I mean, he's tickled to the nines. He should be falling down. And she's trying to now guide me back inside and beckons you to come as well. She is, at the moment anyway, just trying to get me inside.
Alright,
Oh, this lasts a minute, right?
it lasts a minute, yes.
Alright, as soon as the door is open and we are ushered inside, she stops thinking about us. She starts thinking about marks, as in individuals that she can pickpocket, individuals that she can hopefully relieve of interesting bits of jewelry, that sort of stuff. And also keeps an eye on who, like, immediately her mind clicks into
What she's meant to be doing.
the job.
Yes.
And she's scanning the crowds, making sure everyone's blotto, and looking for easy targets for, not just pickpocketing, but taking some jewelry. And, of course, making sure that doing her job. That's exactly what she's doing. She's now focused on her job. She's forgotten about us.
Alright. Which is good.
Yeah, I rolled really well. 2 so far perception checks with my horrible charisma. Sorry, not perception.
Persuasion.
Performance.
Yeah.
And I rolled natural 20, and I rolled an 18. Don't ask, I have no idea.
It's a counterbalance to how poorly I've been doing.
Yeah, actually, I haven't rolled bad at all. Even the NPCs are rolling well. Alright, so we're back inside.
Alright, so we're back inside. I assume Detect Thoughts will have run its course by that point, because it only lasts a minute.
And it is also rather difficult in here because there's a lot of thought going on.
Yeah.
None of it coherent.
Well, it is targeted, so I do choose a target within 30 feet.
Yeah, well.
This isn't...
See that you manage to scan before it runs out.
This isn't suddenly, okay, I'm going to just tune the radio and... just,
Yeah. So, we are currently undetected.
currently, I'm going to whisper in your ear, oh, the dwarf is alive. Furious, but alive. I don't think... I'm not entirely sure if he's going to be enough evidence, and I'm positive an internal thought process scryed by magical means is not going to be evidence either.
No. Alright, so now you're in active mode trying to figure out what's going on here. I would
Yes.
like you to roll an investigation check, and I'm helping you, so let's make that with advantage, please.
Yeah, I'm specifically looking for a possible back room area that might... Alright, investigation 22.
Alright, now that your mind is cleared a little bit, you've gotten the smoke out of your nostrils.
Literally.
Out of your brain. Alright, a couple things you notice. First off, those 2 young ladies are moving expertly between the patrons. They are quite deftly bumping into people every now and then, picking up stuff. And also, you notice sometimes things sort of just move towards them. And you're not entirely sure, well, you know how they're doing it, but they're not actually making contact with somebody. And every now and then, apparently after they've gotten sufficient numbers, they go to a section of wall, which is this whole end here.
Okay, so
ends before the back where you actually think the building should end. You think there should be doors there. There aren't any doors, but every now and then one will go to the little panel and they'll slide it, and they're rather well hidden, disguised doors there. And they go in, and they come out, and they seem to be considerably lighter, you might say.
Yes.
You rolled really well, so you gain that sort of impression that they purloin, and then when they have a load, they go in there and they unload, and they come back out.
okay. And is our host out here as well?
He never seems to go anywhere except twice that you noticed so far. With that high roll, we'll give it to you again. There are two disguised spiral staircases in here as well. They look as part of the structure holding the building up, but now that you rolled high enough, because they're off again towards the end of the boat, there's actually a very narrow way of going down, and he goes down periodically, comes back up. Twice now, they've noticed. But he is moving around, again, being the host, and talking to people, and just doing his job.
All right. So we have two areas to investigate, but getting down there might be difficult.
Alright, this has taken long enough. You need you to roll a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh dear. Alright, well that's a total of 20.
You seem to be a bit more adept now at breathing properly and not, taking in too much of this, whatever it is.
Just need to get out of here so I stop having to roll that saving throw. Would be nice.
Alright, so we've been wandering around, poking our noses a little bit. I would like a performance check, please.
4.
Well, our luck had to run out eventually. One of the hostesses comes over and says, Are you okay? You don't seem to be doing any more gambling. Are you having a good time? And has a bit of a frown on her face. She seems to think that possibly we're not under the influence.
Is this one of the two who keeps going back and forth, or is this just one of the actual waitresses?
Yeah. She just seems concerned. So what do you want to do?
How do I respond to that? I said, yes, we are having a lovely time. We're just enjoying the atmosphere at the moment. I say, this is probably going to be a substantial deception check.
Yes.
18.
Wow.
Apparently.
Oh, she says, "Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. I'm glad that you're having a great time. Feel free to drink and eat as much as you want. It's free. It's definitely here for your pleasure." And then she moves on.
Okay. Alright, we need to make it... Okay, we can't keep coasting on this, though, I say to you. We need to come up with a definite plan. Alright, so we know there's secret doors back there. We know where the disguised staircases down are.
Yep.
The hard part is getting down there.
You notice that this end of the boat, towards the front where those doors are,
Yes.
there are no tables there. You find Naren's there fairly often moving around, but he mingles a lot. And there's always seems to be one or two of those serving girls that seem to be roughly in that area. It's not unwatched.
Okay. Well, I have one idea that might work.
What's that?
It does involve us going back outside, though, at the moment.
Okay, what's that?
Alright, well, you can make one of us invisible,
Yep.
and you can disguise yourself. So you can cast invisibility on me, and you can disguise yourself as a member of staff, I suppose.
Yep.
And we could try to sneak over in that direction that way. I think it's the best option we have.
Alright. So, to start off, if that's your plan,
Yeah, we have to go outside.
I want you to roll a stealth check. And I'll roll as well. See if we can get it without being observed. So far, we're not under suspicion, but we keep going at it all the time. That's not going to stay the same. So, stealth check, please.
6.
Okay, I have a 24.
So do those balance out?
So 24, 6 gives us roughly about a 14, 15.
Oh, we're just taking the average? Okay.
Which is enough. No one seems to pay attention to us easing our way up. We're not slamming the doors open, we're just sort of cracking and going through. So
No, yeah, we're just walking outside again.
Yep. No one seems to pay attention to it.
Okay. Now, making me invisible is easy.
Yes.
You disguising yourself as someone who can... I mean...
I can disguise myself as one of these girls.
Yes, you can. But that may
They're
not...
all human.
Yes, no, that's not the problem. You can disguise yourself as a member of any race or any gender.
Yeah, there's a height issue usually, though.
Yes, that could be an issue. But
no, they're all tall. It's fine.
just passing yourself off as one might be a bit of a problem.
Probably a performance check, yes.
Yes.
We get accosted.
All right, well, I think this is the best plan. If we get split up, I guess one of us will have to try and get down on their own.
Yes. Well, you're the invisible one,
Yes.
so you won't be doing that.
So that will be me.
If I get caught, it'll be up to you to finish this mission, I guess.
I will just say this is much better than my first plan.
What was that?
The crystal knight what gave me the idea. You still have that boar summoning crystal. My idea was you to summon it and throw it in there and just start causing chaos, and as either a possible distraction or alternatively getting the watch's attention over here.
It's a possibility still.
We'll call that Plan B.
Alright, so to start off with,
Yes.
I cast Disguise Self on myself because we have to do it in this order.
Yes. Okay. I don't think you would do.
Can't cast a spell. Oh, that's right, you're the one.
I'm invisible.
That doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter at all.
And then I cast Invisibility on you.
Yes. Alright, so this is the part that's going to matter because I have an hour of invisibility and I cannot cast any spells while invisible, or I lose it. You have an hour of Disguise Self, which you have free reign a little bit.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Alright. It is very docile and chaotic in there. You are invisible, and I am just going to wander through, but I want you to roll a stealth check. Mostly it's it's the same thing for you.
Yeah.
It's mostly a dexterity check not to bump into somebody.
Okay. Just straight roll?
Yeah.
Okay. 17.
Not a problem. You managed to follow in my wake, and we make it across. So I'm going to have to roll a stealth check.
Oh, wait. Did we decide which one we're going for?
No. But you can talk.
Yeah. I think we should head for... It's only the host that goes down there?
So far, what you've seen are those two individuals, the not bubbly staff,
Yeah.
that go into that one room, come out. And so far, you've seen no one go down below except Darren. And currently, he is percolating.
Okay, we should probably start with the back room then, I guess. It's going to be easier, I think.
Right. Alright, so what do you want me to do? None of the bubbly staff has gone in there.
Oh, is that who you're...
That's who you're... Then they will stand here.
Yeah.
And keep an eye on things. But none of them have gone below, into the back yet.
Alright, so that's who you're disguised as? One of the... just the waitresses?
Yeah, I didn't pick one of the intelligent and watching what's going on ones, because...
They probably will notice that they have an identical twin all of a sudden.
Yeah, the others aren't paying attention a whole lot. And most likely it will be easier to get away with that.
Alright, so you going in there might not work.
But you can slide it, and I'll just keep an eye.
Alright. Yep. So I...
Alright, roll the one.
So I saw how they opened this door, presumably, because I saw them open it.
Yeah, it just slides.
Okay.
And you saw where it was, so you don't have to look for it.
Okay, I'm going to...
I'm going to try and block the view.
Yep.
But I still want you to roll a stealth check for this, please, because... they're invisible. I'll give you advantage on this.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Okay, that's good. Okay, another 18.
Alright, so you easily just edge it out, open,
Yep.
go inside, and then
Yep.
assume you're going to slide it closed.
Yes.
Alright, you are in an office.
Yeah, presumably it's not a very large space.
No, it's actually not a very large office, about 20 by 20. There's a desk, there's some shelves, paperwork, but importantly, and the thing you notice most, there is a large, about 2 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet, iron, what you'd expect is a safe,
Yeah.
but it doesn't seem to have a door on it. There
Okay.
just seems to be a chute on the top.
Okay. Important question. Am I alone in here?
Try it. You're by yourself.
Okay. Alright. I need to work fast. Alright. I'm going to head over to the desk. I'm looking for... Yes, I'm heading towards the desk. I want to look through it, and I want to try and find any documents or any paper evidence that might... basically, any proof.
Please.
Sorry?
Investigation, please.
Okay. Okay, investigation 24.
Alright. The desk, for the most part, has kind of the paperwork you would expect. I mean, this is just invoices for booze and invoices for, caterers, that sort of stuff, foods. Getting all the stuff that they need, of course, to put on the show. That's what most of it is. There are a couple of lists that have ingredients on them that you're not certain of. They don't seem to have, they have names, but you're not familiar with them. You can try rolling not arcana check, alchemy check if you like.
So, medicine, I guess?
Sure.
9.
Yeah, you have no idea.
Okay, I'm going to pocket those papers, though.
Okay.
For you, at least, to look at.
Kind of a weird, loud sneeze.
You heard it from outside? Oh, I assume that was you. Alright, well, assuming that was you, I'm going to try and put everything else back where I found them. I'm going to pocket those documents.
A couple seconds after that loud sneeze, the door slides open and one of those two girls comes in.
Okay, I'm just going to try and be off to the side,
Okay.
out of the way.
I would like you to roll a stealth check, please.
Do I have advantage on this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. 17.
Alright. They come in, they look around like they always do, they close the door, and they go over to that metal box with a slit in it,
Yes.
and then they start pulling out pouches, and they drop them down in there, some jewelry. There seems to be some sort of drop chute. And you hear it goes down a fair amount, and it lands something.
Below deck, presumably.
Yeah. It takes her maybe about 30 seconds to unload, and then she slides the panel and heads back out.
Okay.
I would like you to roll on intelligence check, please.
Oh, dear. 9 total.
Never mind. Okay. So, you have a list of possible alchemical ingredients that you're unfamiliar with.
Yeah.
And that's it so far. You want to continue searching?
So, how thoroughly do I feel like I searched the desk? Is it worth continuing? Do I think there might be more to that, or?
You've only spent about 2 or 3 minutes before you were interrupted.
Yeah.
There are a couple of doors you haven't hit yet, and of course there's some shelves, and you also think that there might be a panel over to the side that seems a little unusual.
Okay.
But you haven't got to it yet.
I'm definitely going to focus my next investigation on that panel specifically. Yeah. I still have inspiration left over from our previous sessions. I'm going to use it to give myself advantage on this roll.
Finally! You're using it.
Yes, but this feels very important. The other things were less so. This. Okay. Alright, so 18 total.
Alright, you go over and you find out how to. It's not locked or anything, it's just rather cleverly disguised.
Yeah.
You figure out how to open it up. It's not a sliding panel. And in there are. It's just a small area. There's a box, a metal box, and there seems to be a leather-bound, small leather-bound book wrapped with leather ties.
Okay. Ledger or journal or something. I'm definitely taking that.
Alright, you just gonna pull it out?
Yeah. I'll look through it to see if there's any traps or anything obvious like that, but
Alright.
One way or the other, I'm definitely taking it.
Okay.
Oh. 11.
Seems fine.
I take it.
Okay. You hear, in a really loud voice, "Someone's taking me!"
Oh, well, this is new. I assume it was the book.
Yes. You noticed on the cover, a magic mouth appeared and yelled out, "Someone's taking me!"
Is it still doing it, or just once?
Just the once.
Okay.
It was really loud, though.
I have my bag of holding.
Yep.
I would shove it in my bag of holding.
Alright.
Which is another plane of existence, which I hope is going to really hinder this.
Sad.
What is?
Alright. Nothing.
Alright, and then I'm going to head towards the door.
Alright. Are you doing anything to cover up the fact that you've been in here?
I'll slide that panel closed, because that was the last thing I did, really.
Alright, so you slide the panel closed, and you already did the desk, so
Yep.
okay, you go to the panel to leave,
Yep.
and you'll slide it open. I would like you to roll a stealth check, please, with advantage.
Oh dear. The higher of those was 6.
Alright. You notice
Yeah.
being noticed. There's one of the 3 people that seem to be paying attention to what's going on.
Yeah.
Apparently was heading towards the panel that you're coming out of now.
Yeah.
They noticed it slide open and then as soon closed again without any other obvious reasons for it to do so.
Yeah.
Okay. And they turn their head for a second and try and get some of their compatriots' attention, but she can't seem to be able to get them. So she heads towards the panel quickly, slides it open, and seems to be peering inside the wall. So what are you gonna do?
Alright.